Massive episode coming up today as we play both legs of the Champions League quarter-final against Manchester City, a competition we have to win this year because I've seen the transfer budget for next year. It's not pretty. Don't worry though, we had the ideal preparation for these matches by conceding as many goals in our last league game as we had done in the entire season so far up to that point. You know, when you all said the payments might catch up with me. We've got to win the Champions League this year. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 54 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final against Manchester City. And fingers crossed we'll be in the Champions League semi-final in about 15-20 minutes' time. Since you were last with me, this is what we've been doing. It had been good stuff. Although we've started to get a little bit of yellow drift into our league form. Weirdly, I don't understand this at all. We had 3 league games since you last were here. Real Sociedad, Barcelona and Celta Vigo. We managed to not beat Sociedad and Celta Vigo, but did comfortably beat Barcelona. We conceded 4 goals against Celta Vigo. Now, I know this is a bit of a rotated side, but with 20 minutes to go, they were 3-0 up. We had a bit of a... We did go 4-3 up, but then they equalised... Oh no, they went ahead. I thought we were... This is what happens when you play the game the day before, Kev. So we got it back to 3-3, then they scored, then we equalised again. We went to the 4-2-4 in that game on the 70-minute mark. And as you can see, it was quite effective. But 4 goals conceded in that game means we've now conceded 8 league goals this season. So that's... The league's falling apart. We're only 17 points clear with 7 games to go. It's an official disaster. Does that mean we can win the league today? I'm not even going to try. So, I mentioned finances as well, and this is where it does all start to go wrong. It started to go wrong there 2 years ago. But we're now massively in debt with the projections getting worse and worse, and the board have finally noticed and done something about it. So I'm not getting an increased transfer budget. Oh, actually, I am getting an increased wage budget. I thought that would stay the same. So actually, I'm getting a massively increased wage budget. And not much in the way of transfer budget. So I could potentially still do a little bit of Kev business, but a transfer budget of just £8 million with 35% of transfer revenue retained. So they're clearly in a mood to start recouping some of their money. Realistically, what that means is if we do bottle this game against Manchester City today, or any upcoming Champions League games, and end up staying here for another year, we're not going to be able to bring in any players this summer, is realistically what it means. So fingers crossed. We do win, because not only does winning the Champions League mean that we can leave Sevilla and then end the series, although I'm not sure if we will end this. I have thoughts, but we'll save them for after we've won it, about what comes next. But just going through each round of the competition does throw lots of money at us as well. I think we got £12 million for winning in the last round, and presumably that's going to go up each round. So if we keep winning, we're gonna go a long way towards helping put Sevilla back where it should be financially. So this is the team for the home leg against Manchester City. We're going with Zielinski in goal, a back 4 of Ryback, Quito, Rigor and Serdic, O'Neill and Atz in midfield because Ramos is injured, so O'Neill has to come into the side. Hollis, Lorenzo and Kasongo behind Llorente. The fact that we're playing O'Neill rather than Ramos is probably the main reason we're not going 4-2-4 from the off. I think if we had Ramos and Atz in midfield for this game, we would just finally commit to the 4-2-4, but with O'Neill in there alongside Atz, we all know what Atz is like. I think having Atz in a 2-man midfield with someone not on his level, it's just asking for trouble against a team like Manchester City. So we'll start with the 4-2-3-1, allowing Lorenzo to be involved in helping support the midfield and all that stuff, and hopefully as the game progresses we'll score like 8 goals and not worry about it. That sentence got away from me a little bit there. So let's passionately say, a first leg win. Yeah, do that. Nothing. Ridiculous. So this is a Manchester City team that have been dominating the Premier League for the better part of 20 years at this point. They've got a lot of money. We looked in the last episode. They're consistently breaking transfer records. Obviously, we're breaking Spanish transfer records. They're doing it on an even bigger scale in England, and they've actually got the money to back it up, and they've got the money to pay the ridiculous wages that go with it as well. They've got players on like £500,000 a week, and they've got an away goal after 11 minutes. They've gone one. Where's my toffee crisp mug? I need to make myself feel better. I don't know what I'm going to do if we get knocked out here. Part of me thinks it'll be quite an entertaining transfer window, trying to figure out what on earth I'm supposed to do with the financial mess I've now caused. Like I said all along, we were gambling on bringing in the right players and getting a Champions League win. Similar to the Leeds United scenario I compared it to in real life from the early 2000s. They gambled on Champions League success and long-running success, and it didn't work out, and we all know how that ended. And we could potentially... Oh, what was that from O'Neill? What was that from O'Neill? They've got 2 goals in 2 minutes, and O'Neill's just done a beautiful cross into the path of their striker, who's already on 35 goals for the season. And all of a sudden, I can see everything falling apart around me. What was O'Neill doing there? I don't know how we come back from this. I don't know how we get through the summer. I can only hope that winning what will presumably be 4 La Ligas in a row is going to be enough for the likes of Manchester City to come and offer me a job, and I can just run away from Sevilla and let someone else clean up my mess. There'll be a fire sale. I could go to Manchester City and bring the best 2 or 3 players with me and build on this team with the best of my team and go and win the Champions League at the first time of asking there. Oh my word, I cannot believe that is the worst possible start that we could have had. Let's show some passion. Oh, I thought it was going to get even worse just to prove me wrong. Right, Hollis playing against English opposition. He's going to want to show that he's one of the best players in the world, like we think he is, but not showing it so far today. And he was only playing for Southampton this time last year when he was in the Premier League. Lorenzo now across to Kasongo. Kasongo to O'Neill. We are only 2-0 down. Let's put some context in this. We were 3-0 down in our last league game, and we ended up getting back into that. Obviously, that's easier said than done against Manchester City, but not impossible. And Ats fires, I wasn't say straight at their keeper. That's too harsh on Ats. It was a good effort and a good save, and we've got the corner, and it's Hollis to take, and it doesn't really get anywhere near a white shirt. And O'Neill looks like he's not really sure what's going on around him today, which is a bit of a worry. This is a World Cup winner in the shape of Paul O'Neill. And I know that was a long time ago now. We're going back like 6 years when he won the World Cup. But still, he did win the World Cup as a teenager. He should be able to get through the Champions League knockout rounds. Ats has just scored an absolute screamer. Imagine if this is the redemption story of Ats. After being the villain for so many big games over the years, imagine if he single-handedly drags us back into this tie and helps us navigate through to the semi-final of the Champions League. It would be a story for the ages and would confirm that he doesn't need an asterisk next to his name in the Sevilla history books, because he was an incredible signing. He has been a great player most of the time. Ryback did brilliantly there. And there's a ball over the top for Llorente. Llorente's in. Lorenzo! And we've equalised before half-time. They did us with 2 goals in 2 minutes. We've done it straight back to them. And those of you who question Edgar Lorenzo, 10th goal of the season now for him from that attacking midfield spot. Ryback gets all the credit in the world for that, because he made up so much ground to make that interception. It's a lovely ball forward. Llorente, could argue, should have done a little bit better, but Lorenzo is there following up. And all of a sudden, my team talk is going to take a very different shape to the one that we were originally planning, because I get the impression from these statistics that Man City got their 2 early goals and then have sat back and decided to settle for a 2-0 win, whereas we are going at their throats. Hollis across to Llorente. Imagine if we'd have gone ahead before half-time. Let's just sucker punch them again. Hollis with the corner, and their keeper on the stretch can just about keep hold of it. We don't want half-time at this point. We want just stay out there. Don't give them the opportunity to regroup. Just do the second half now. We won't even need... Let's not even worry about changing ends. Apparently, we don't get a vote. Right. What do I say? The way the game is set, you can go back out for the second half. No, not play without pressure. Great opportunity. We've been the better. I guess we have been the better team, apart from when they, were scoring goals. I'm not happy. Unlucky boys. Things just haven't got... Well, that's not really fair. You know what? It's going to have to be that last one. Great opportunity to show all the pundits that they've been right to back you. Let's just go and have a really special second half. Grab. If we score 4 goals in the second half now, big if. But if we managed to have just the greatest second half in the history of football, then it doesn't matter what they did in the first 15 minutes of the match, because we'll have cancelled it all out. Lorenzo, shooting from range. He wants to cancel things out, and I'm fully in support of that. There was Man City players there who looked doubled over and tired on the 48th minute. They've been out for 3 minutes of this second half, and they look tired. I'm not sure if I was just imagining that. Kasongo, that was sensational the way he kept the ball there. Plays it into Lorenzo. Great pass over to Hollis. Hollis with the cross. Kasongo's there. Weird header from Kasongo, but it's still bobbling around in the area, and Ats hits the post. But City are all over the place, and we're all over them. And we've just got to keep pushing. Show some passion. It's dangerous with Ats in the team, I know. But let's have some passion. 10 minutes of passion. Let's go grab a couple of goals. And just realise there was never anything to worry about. Ryback, slightly overhit for Hollis. And now Lorenzo hits the frame in the goal. How many times have we hit the woodwork in this match? There should be a stat for that. I think there is a stat for that. I don't think I want to see it, because it's going to upset me. I don't want to see it, he says, and then immediately goes to try and find it. Should probably just watch the highlights that are happening. Ats does brilliantly. Kasongo, cross to Hollis. Hollis has scored. Sevilla 3, Manchester City 2 on 63 minutes. It's still obviously not enough. A 1-goal advantage with them with 2 away goals going into an away leg. We want better than that. But I tell you what, the way some of our stars are playing in this second half, Ats has looked brilliant. Kasongo has looked on a completely different level. Hollis with a lovely finish. And at the moment, Llorente looks like the odd one out. So I think that's an easy justification for taking him off. Bring Perez on. And O'Neill, we don't have anyone to bring on for him, so he's just going to have to stay on. Serdic, likewise. Don't want to change the centre-back. Ryback's on a yellow card, which is a bit of a worry. But he's Ryback. I think we just leave him on. I think that one change is probably enough for now. I don't want to rock the boat too much. In a different scenario, we could bring Jason Gould on to play in midfield ahead of O'Neill. But it just feels dangerous in the circumstances. City have got their first attack since like the first 15 minutes of the game, and we need to be very aware of what's going on with that. Kasongo now racing clear. He's got options ahead of him. Finds Hollis. Hollis has got options in the middle. Cross to Perez, and Perez has scored. It's Sevilla 4, City 2. Perez with his 19th goal of the season. We did a Jesus. Jesus is on again, everybody. And Kasongo, I tell you what. Signing of the season already, based just on this performance. Kasongo has been outstanding. Everything has come through him on that right-hand side, and it's exactly what we signed him for. Hollis as well, a fantastic performance from him. Just that attacking midfield 3 have all been brilliant. Right, I don't know why I'm looking at this again, because unless someone's... O'Neill's tired as well. We're going to have to bring Gould on. This is a big test for Jason Gould. Playing as a deep-lying playmaker in the centre of midfield in such a big game. In fact, O'Neill got injured anyway. So we now have to make that change we'd already decided to make. That feels like the game's been a little bit unnecessary there. Let's praise them for the last 5 minutes. See if that fires them up enough to grab a fifth. If we can come out of this 5-2, I'll be delighted. I mean, 4-2. Based on where we were 15 minutes in, 4-2 up in the 93rd minute, I'm a happy camper. Do not get me wrong, boys and girls. Right, Ats plays it to Serdic. Serdic beats his man. City look beaten. Perez is in again. Oh, it's offside. I just want to play the second leg now. Look at the status. We said we don't have performances like this in the Champions League. This is how we play in La Liga. But we've done it tonight in the Champions League. 25 shots to their 3 shots. Dominating possession. We've played Man City as if we were playing Real Madrid. And it's been lovely. And I love the fact we showed the character to get over the 2-goal head start we gave them, basically. I've got to be passionate after that. That was a good win. Fantastic show of character. And fingers crossed we don't mess it all up in the second leg now. In the meantime, we're going to play this league game offline. I don't think we'll win the league in it. I guess there's the possibility that we could. If so, that'd be a nice little confidence booster going into the second leg. But for you, time travel, second leg coming up now. An efficient win against Getafe in the league leaves us looking like that. 17 points clear, 6 games to go. Have we got any mathematicians down in the comments? We're winning the league soon. Soon. next match, maybe? Probably before the next episode. We just got the one change from the first leg. O'Neill picked up that injury towards the end of the game. He's going to be out for the next 3 to 5 weeks. Ramos is now fit enough to come back in. I'm actually toying with doing that, I think. Perez was good in the last league game. He was excellent when he came off the bench against Man City. Fingers crossed he doesn't do anything stupid and get himself sent off, because Llorente's been my main man all year. But Perez might have just got the nod and become number one striker around these parts again. Go out there, finish off where you left off the net. I want to do that passionately, but it doesn't let me. Just do it like that then. Finish off where you left off last time. Excellent stuff. So we are 2 goals ahead from the first leg, but obviously Manchester City do have those 2 away goals. So a 2-0 win for them, and we're out. So priority number 1 for us, none of this defending a lead lark that real teams would do. We want to go and get our 2 away goals back. Kasongo. Hollis is there. Who even nodded that down? Ramos, maybe? Ramos has got the assist. Hollis has got his 15th goal of the season. 13 minutes on the clock. We've got an away goal, boys and girls. It's a lovely header back across goal from Ramos. Hollis with a very tidy finish. 1-0 on the night, 5-2 on aggregate. As it stands, and City are coming at us again, but we are trying to break clear. Looking at those statistics, Man City definitely having the best of the opening 25 minutes or so in all statistics, other than that most crucial one in that we've scored. But we do need to... there's 2 wrestlers on the pitch right now. We've obviously got Ryback. I've just seen they've got an Andrade. It's basically a WWE match. I shouldn't have singled him out. He crossed basically onto Ryback's head. Hollis now. Big ball forward for Perez to chase. Come on, Jesus. Justify me selecting you. This is the big change from the first leg. First leg, no Jesuses. Second leg, double Jesus. Hopefully, that's going to be the difference maker. Although, I said, do we want a difference maker? We won 4-2 in that first leg. But as it stands... Oh, that hurt. My shoulder really hurts. But we are ahead. Jesus Perez is the worst player on the pitch for us at the moment, so Llorente's just giggling next to me. He doesn't mind as long as we win. And I do want that second away goal. If we can grab a second goal, ideally before half-time, that would be perfect, because that then cancels out any little slice of advantage that City still had in their grand scheme of things, and leaves them with an enormous amount of work to do in the second half to get back into this tie. Kasongo tries to find Hollis, doesn't get there, but Hollis, there's just some magic from Hollis there, all around, fires it back to Kasongo. Kasongo's offside, but Hollis was just... I've already used the word sensational in this episode. I can't overuse it, but Kasongo and Hollis, my word, are they good players. All those years I said I didn't like wingers. I am loving the work of Kasongo and Hollis in this episode. That's why they're 2 of the 3 best players in the world. Right, don't get complacent. Absolutely don't get complacent. That's the easiest team talk in the world. We do have Soto on the bench this time, because I actually picked my own bench for once. Auto-pick didn't have him on the bench, the rascals. But Soto is on the bench, so if we need to, and when I say if we need to, I mean fairly soon, I want to switch to the 4-3-3. Although, having said that, Ramos is really struggling, and I think I might actually have to use Soto in midfield for Ramos. So the plan had been to take Lorenzo off, but Ramos is done, and we're going to need him for the run-in, so we need to get him off. I think I'm going to offer a little bit of praise. I know we're only 1 goal up on the night, but three goals up on aggregate. I think that's worthy of some praise. Perez has picked up his game a little bit since I criticised him. We don't have any more central midfield changes to make. Lorenzo... I want to get... You know what? I might just do this. It's the opposite of the defensive change I was planning on making, but these 2 do play so well together. And if Lorenzo's coming off, why not get Llorente on and just put the finishing piece of the puzzle and just really destroy the morale of Man City? They've got to score 3 times in the next 10 minutes to win this tie. Right. Is captain, that's a worry. I don't see that we've got a logical change to make, really. I guess Korkmaz for Perez could work, or even Gould for Perez. I think we'll do Gould for Perez. It didn't last long, but we are finally going to switch to this. And we're going to put Soto back there, and we're going to have Kasongo playing in midfield, I think, with Gould out wide. They've both been training to do it. Gould, I consider more of a defensive option in there, whereas Kasongo, if we're going to have someone racing forward. Did that go in? No, I thought they'd given a goal there. If we want a player sort of taking on half of that Lorenzo role, I think Kasongo's the man to do that. But I think we're into the semi-final of the Champions League, boys and girls. We can't mess this up from here, surely. I don't know when the draw is. I don't know if we're going to get that on today's episode, or if we've got to play more La Liga games first, in which case it'll have to be a surprise tomorrow. But I think it is safe to say at this point that we have taken the scalp of Manchester City. Hopefully a big pile of cash comes with that. And semi-final time, boys and girls. I don't even know who else has been we've actually done a sensible Champions League away leg there, accidentally, but we have, and that's awesome. Passionate again. Actually, no, let's not be passionate. It was only a 1-0 win. It was a good result, good performance. No reason to be passionate though. Right, Champions League draw is before the next La Liga game. We've got £9 million coming in again, which is handy. Still £200 million overdrawn. But importantly, Champions League semi-final. We'll do that draw right now to see who we're going to be playing in tomorrow's episode. Here we go then, boys and girls. Champions League semi-final draw. We've got last year's winners, Leipzig, and Chelsea and Manchester United. Well, Chelsea and Man United are both beatable because we just beat Man City. Leipzig did win this last year, but we could beat them with Hamburg when we were over in Germany. I know that's a long time ago now, but, we took Korkmaz off of them. Leipzig in the final seems fair. So, as last time, we're out of the hat first. I don't care who we get. We can take on any of them. To be fair, Chelsea, probably the weakest of all the options available there, I think. I'm pretty happy with Chelsea. I think that should be doable. Let's see how they've been getting on in the league recently. 4th in the Premier League. When was the last time they won it? I don't know why I'm looking at this. They're way back in the Premier League. They did win it last year and 10 years ago, but they have more to fear from us than we have to fear from them, I think. And that will be tomorrow's episode. We'll just do both legs of Chelsea again. I think in between now and then we will have won the Liga in these games as well. I'm not going to show you that. I think with the league table looking as it is, you can just assume that's going to happen. And if it doesn't, then you'll see it in a video, and then we can all laugh at Kev. But we'll be back tomorrow, Champions League semi-final, and we cross everything. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.